draft here this morning, and it's not even our last draft of this Pro Tour. Our top 8 will be draft as well. Two guys I know who are also very excited for draft. Marshall and Paul, take it away.
Yeah, that's right, Maria. We are always excited for Booster Draft, and that's how we're going to start our day off today here at Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. Marshall Sutcliffe with Paul Cheon. Thank you so much for joining us to watch Martin Juza coming in at 8-0, as I just mentioned at the news desk there, Paul. And stylistically, Martin's a pretty straightforward drafter.
Yeah. I mean, when I found out who was the undefeated player going in, I knew for a fact that we were going to be featuring him. And I go, you know what? This is a draft that I know I'm going to be able to follow, right? Sometimes we watch a draft, drafters, they have different kinds of styles. I think Martin has a very similar approach to Limited that I do. So I feel like there's not going to be too many picks that we're really going to be arguing. So I'm excited to see kind of how he approaches this format.
Yeah, take a look at the table as it sits here right next to Martin Juza is Arne Huschenbeth, sitting there at 7-1. And of course, this is significantly different from our feature pod yesterday where it was random seeding. Now it's based on the player's record. So, these are the toughest competitors in the field as of yesterday, all sitting down to draft against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, given their records, every single person in this pod went at least 2-1 in their drafts coming into this second draft. So they kind of know their way around a 40-card deck here. Now, Martin passing to teammate Arne Huschenbeth there. So this should be interesting to see where, it's always nice to have somebody who has a lot of experience drafting, just because you know that very likely you'll be able to cooperate with each other.
That's right. As you can see, this is, of course, a timed draft, which means that one of our excellent judges out in the field here will be instructing the players for each of the picks that they make, when they can make them, when they can review their picks, all of it. This is a very regimented draft. It's a little different than if you're used to drafting at your local game store or with your friends. I think the biggest difference is that you can't look at your cards in between packs. Okay, pack one, pick one is underway here for Martin Juza. He's known to be one of the better limited players in the history of our game. Let's figure out what he likes here. Paul, anything standing out to you? See a Red Guardian, Night Nurse there?
Yeah, he's immediately putting kind of the top uncommon options here. Heroic Feast is the rare, which is not really something that you're interested in playing here. So I think he's going to probably choose between Night Nurse and a Red Guardian. Always nice, of course, to start with a white card if possible, as it is the strongest color. Personally, I do prefer Red Guardian in general, but it is interesting because we are talking about an open decklist format, and that kind of changes things, because if Martin has a Red Guardian in his deck, passes with 3 mana up, well, a nice counterplay is just simply not attack and just continue playing creatures. So where I think Red Guardian is generally a stronger card, I could see the case being made to take the Night Nurse.
It looks like Martin agrees with you, though, Paul. He's going to go for Red Guardian Super Soldier to kick off his draft here, putting him in white, at least potentially.
Yeah, excellent creature here. This just almost always, if you just pass with 3 mana, what are they going to do? Just not attack with their 2-drop, right? They almost always do, and you get to eat something and have a 2/2 in play.
Let's take a look at pack one, pick two, the Ruinous Wrecking Crew in the rare slot. There's also Falcon Winged Wonder, and there's a Claw there if you want to move into black for some reason. Ruinous Wrecking Crew is one of the shining bright lights in the otherwise rather dim pool of black-red, which tends to be the worst archetype, but Ruinous Wrecking Crew's nice.
Yeah, it's extremely powerful, but it's a little bit early, and after first picking Red Guardian, taking a black-red rare, taking a card that's kind of in one of the weaker color combinations is a little tough when there's already Falconed Winged Wonder and a Frozen and Ice in the pack. And Falcon is a great card, highly splashable as well. And, coming into this, we actually ran into Martin Juza, and he did say, hey, just like everybody else, if blue-white's open, I want to be in blue-white.
He said he's determined to let the seat dictate what his deck does. He's not going to try to force or push anything. He's a drafter who's very much willing to go with the flow. And look at that. He's got a Brave Brawler, a solid 2-drop if he wants to solidify white. If he wants to go blue, he's got a few options here. Wiccan. Sure.
Yeah, there's a Wiccan and an Atlantis Attacks, and I think it's really between the Brave Brawler and the Wiccan. Wiccan, of course, a nice top-end threat, but you already have a Falcon. There's a limit to really how many expensive cards you want to play. When in doubt, kind of lean towards the cheaper card. Also a good thing, when in doubt, maybe take the white card in this format. So personally, I think I'd be leaning towards the Brave Brawler here.
Yeah, looks like Martin agrees with that one. not much else to do in any other colors either. So there wasn't anything drawing him away. You know, we saw that Ruinous Wrecking Crew. You think, well, maybe there's something. Nah. In that next pack, there wasn't much there.
Yeah, I mean, if there was an Undercover Scroll or an Hour of Defeat, something, a Cruel Alliance, any of those cards, he would have taken it, but Brave Brawler was just simply the best option in that pack.
And this pack doesn't look super great here, Paul.
Yeah, it's a pretty weak pack overall here. So I think he just has no choice but to kind of take Spider-Man to the rescue. Fine card that, like I mentioned in yesterday's draft, plays out a little worse than you would expect. There's a lot of words on the card. It's kind of flashy, but that's exactly what it is most of the time. A flash 3/2 that you can play on your end of opponent's turn. But still a pretty good card. I mean, just playable. You're never going to cut it, at least the first copy. And, you know, your opponent definitely has to respect it if they know you have it in your deck.
Yeah, the upside's nice.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, these are open pools, meaning that every card that the player drafts, their opponent gets to see. They don't get to know the final build, but they can figure out mostly what the cards are in the deck. And they'll be very aware of these flash creatures. And in fact, there's 2 now for Martin. What does he see here? Oh, another Brave Brawler. There's also a Helicarrier Strike. He's looking at Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan.
Yeah, not going to take that one.
Not that one. But Brave Brawler, Helicarrier Strike, another good white card. Just, again, solid checkbox type cards here.
Right. And actually prioritizing the Brave Brawler here doesn't have any interaction yet. And, of course, it is very important to pick up a lot of removal in this format because of how powerful the bombs are. He does have the Red Guardian, but Brave Brawler is kind of the 2-drop that you want in these aggressive white decks. It lets you race and just allows you to put pressure on the slower decks. So certainly a fine pickup here. All right.
And yeah,
it's just white cards.
It's just white cards.
There's not even another option, right?
No, there's not. White Widow free agent. Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and take the White Widow free agent here. And it's really feeling, Paul, like he's solidified himself in white at this point.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like he has 1 blue card with that Falcon and everything else is just white cards.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, that's not a bad place to be in the format. We saw Nathan Stoyer's draft yesterday, which was kind of similar where he did have a bunch of white cards and he really needed to open something awesome to kind of put himself in a position to pick that second color. And you can just wait. If you open a bomb in pack number 2, then you can just kind of move into that color. So for right now, took a bunch of white cards, and so he knows for sure that he's white, and he's still trying to find that signal for the second color. We still haven't seen it yet, though.
Let's take a quick look at how this draft has gone so far for Martin. Here's the pick so far. White card, blue card, and then the rest are effectively white, although Spider-Man technically can be green as well. So, you know, 5 out of 6 are white cards.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then the question becomes, what would make him want to go into another color? What are the types of cards that he could take that might tempt him into other colors? Some of the commons might be.
Right, and these are, of course, the best commons in the other colors. When you see a late Undercover Scroll, Cruel Alliance, or Trickster Stratagem, again, individually the best commons in these colors, that's kind of an indication, right? You see any of these cards, 6 pick, you go, wait, there might be a shot that this color is open. That's when you take this over, perhaps, a filler-level white common such as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And, you know, we don't see a red card here, and that's because if the red cards that you need would really have to be strong like this, like Jessica Jones you see here, Kazar of Savage Land, and Justice Vance Astrovic. These are the top tier level uncommons that would actually draw you into these other colors.
Yeah, and I think at this point, the only card that you can probably get is Jessica Jones, because of course, nobody's going to be looking to pass a Justice or a Kazar at this point in the draft, but certainly something that he could open in pack number 2.
That's right. And of course, if we're going to dream a little bit,
why not?
You know, what might pull you in a different direction? How about a Leader Super Genius, a Dr. Doom, and of course, no Dream Picks board would be complete without the Superhero Civil War.
Absolutely.
So these are the things that Martin's going to be thinking about for the rest of this pack, and then of course, more so even heading into the second pack. So let's head back down and see how the rest of pack 1 goes here for Martin Juza, and then of course, the rest of his draft as well.
Pick up the pack. You have 20 seconds.
Being solidified in white this early,
yeah, it's a good
pretty
feeling.
Good. Yeah,
it's a good feeling. The only thing for Martin is he's still trying to figure out where he needs to be for that second color. Right now, of course, leaning into blue because you have that Falcon Winged Wonder. Here we have the choice between Shuri, Wakandan Inventor, and Supersuit. I kind of prefer Supersuit if you already have all creatures, right?
Draft.
And You know, sometimes I put Supersuit
Shuffle
into
and
my
pass
deck as my
7
23rd card.
cards to your left.
I've been pleasantly surprised. Every now and then you can just kind of get people with the card. It's a, you know, it's not a take up the
the back,
shield,
you
but
have
sometimes
15
you need
seconds.
something like this to kind of round out your deck. All right, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Supersuit, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're definitely late in the pack.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
you know, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. probably going to slot right
5
into that
seconds.
3-mana slot. Totally fine, playable card here, especially, you know, playing a turn 2 Brave Brawler,
Draft.
gain a bunch of life. But yes,
Shuffle and pass 6 cards to
that's
your left.
exactly where you should be taking that card.
Exactly. And, you know, honestly, these are relief
Pick
picks
up the
here
back, you have 10
as well
seconds.
for Martin, because it is not uncommon to find yourself at this level of draft and have nothing.
Absolutely.
And you're just like, oh,
you have to take, for example, a Hydraulic Helper.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, I don't want to play that in my Blue-Eye Proactive deck. Now, of
Draft.
course, you are certainly very happy picking up an Aim Scientist,
Shuffle and
pick
pass
9.
5 cards
It's
to
just a
your
solid
left.
card to play, and almost all the Lane Cyclers are playable.
Pick up the
Yeah,
back,
and it's
you
interesting.
have
It's
10
another
seconds.
little leaning towards blue. You know, the Super Suit, the Aim Scientist, these are
Right.
not the type of cards. Same thing, I'm Iron Man. None of these are the ones that make you go, all right, I'm in blue.
Sure.
Draft.
But, you know,
You can
he's
play
a
them.
Pass
little
4
bit more lean
cards
towards. But I'll
to your
tell
left.
you, if Martin opens a
Pick up the
Dr.
back, you
Doom,
have
he's like,
5
cool.
seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
he will ditch that Super Suit right quick.
absolutely. I mean, we saw Nathan Stoyer yesterday
Draft.
open Massacre Girl, and he goes, okay,
Yeah.
that's definitely my second
Pass
color
3
now.
cards
I mean,
to
we
your
even
left.
saw him take Kang and not play it. Like,
Pick up the back.
Right. Well, that I don't necessarily agree with, but yes.
Pim Technologies there, a nice little pickup as well if there is a Black Splash
Draft.
on the
Right.
way here for Juza. And now we're kind of in the
Pass 2 cards to
dregs
your
of
left.
the pack here, the,
You can
the
pick
up
last
the back.
couple of picks.
Just
So
5
Taking the
seconds.
tricks.
Martin now gets to kind of reset,
Yeah.
right? He will get to review
Draft.
all of his picks and go, okay,
And pass the
where am
final
I
card.
at? And I think the check boxes for him are,
It's now
I'm in white.
your
I've got a
review
few
period.
feelers
You
out
have
on blue,
60
but
seconds.
I'm very willing to abandon that if something better comes along. Curve-wise, he's actually looking pretty good so far,
Yeah.
right? He's got double Brave Brawler, and then he has the 2/3 drops.
Yeah, this is not certainly the most exciting deck, but you do have a fine curve. You have a good amount of tricks, right? Even I am Iron Man and Super Suit. If you don't have enough spells or removal spells, of course, tricks can also act as removal effects, especially in combat. So a fine configuration here. You know, no rares or anything along those lines, but just sometimes if you draft a deck like this, you're still happy. This is a decent start, and it still has a lot of room for flexibility. Now, for Martin, I think it's a slight lean into blue-white, but like you mentioned, you open one of those bombs in any of the other colors, he's just going to move right in.
Yeah, this is also expectations management, right? For those of you that haven't been along with us for a lot of these Pro Tour drafts, they play out much differently than your average draft, say, on Arena or Magic Online or even at your local game store. These are much scrappier. It just feels like you never get
Time
a gift.
for review is complete.
Right, like people just
Please
cut a
return
card
all
or
your
they'll move
drafted
into a
cards to
color and
single
they
face-down
just,
pile.
you feel like you're fighting just to get a deck.
Find a pack
So when you
labeled
have a deck
A,
like this that is a
sorry,
nice
labeled
curve
B.
on reasonable playables, even
Open the
though
pack
there's
face
nothing
down,
really
turn the bottom
exciting in
card
here
face
yet,
down,
you
and
actually feel
count
okay.
14
Yeah.
cards. Please
Sometimes you
confirm
don't
all
even
the
get
leaves
that.
are
Sometimes
unmarked.
you just go 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, kill your thing,
Right.
and that's good enough.
And by the way, that is a Martin Juza
Special.
staple. Yeah, he loves the curve out type
Right.
decks. He's very mana base and curve
Pick up the
conscious
back, you
as a
have
player.
50
He's
seconds.
a very responsible player, I,
I mean,
would say.
those decks always have a much higher floor, right, when you're drafting. And this one,
Ooh,
well,
there we go.
I,
Let's delay that decision a little
Right.
further. Hero in Training, the best common in the set. Martin's going to windmill it here.
right, and simply put, just the best card in the pack here.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes it will be the best card in the pack, as Hero in Training is extremely powerful. And you know, with the 2 Brave Brawlers, you got a couple of heroes to play on turn number 2. Being able to gain the life means that, you know, if Martin plays against another aggressive white strategy, I mean, he's going to be able to outrace those decks pretty easily.
And if you look at what Martin's doing here, he's taking a quick look at the next 7 best cards to see what might wheel.
Right.
You know, he could pick up maybe a playable out of this pack. It's
5
possible.
seconds.
And he wants to know what those possibilities might be because they may shade his
Draft.
decisions in future
Shuffle
picks
and pass
to,
13
well, I
cards to your
might be
right.
getting that giant-sized flying wasp back, and I'll stick in blue or whatever. This more information, the better.
the back, you
and
have
for a veteran
45
drafter
seconds.
like Juza, he's going to be paying attention to everything.
I think he would love to have that ant table. And now well, guess what? We're just going to decide between white cards again.
Yeah.
Cruel Alliance, certainly a very powerful card, but not enough better than these white options anyways. So now this is interesting because Red Guardian is a powerful card, but it is your second copy of Red Guardian. It's open deck list. It's a legendary creature, and you don't have kind of that unconditional removal for big things like a Murdoch's Crusade, which is also very, very powerful. So I would consider the Murdoch's Crusade here just to get a pesky blocker out of the way, or let's say your opponent plays a leader and turns it into a 2-4. It is a nice, effective counterspell. Now, you can certainly overdo it on Murdoch's Crusade because the first copy is very good, but they get worse as you get multiples. And for that reason, it looks like Martin is taking the second Red Guardian.
Yeah, but the first copy is really good.
Right. And again, I think that's kind of a close pick.
It is.
Stylistically, which one do you like better? And Martin, of course, going for
the Mind Stone. Oh, and there's a web up as well as
burrow backup.
A White Widow double agent.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you just need the interaction here. I don't really see the Mind Stone doing that much here. Martin's really looking to curve out, be a little aggressive. He doesn't really have a whole lot of top end.
Does he have anything to
He's got the one hero in training, and he's got the White Widow, but Web Up is just so perfect and just kind of helps you answer everything. I've been a little bit underwhelmed by this card. It's got high upside, of course. But Web Up is one of the best removal spells in the format, so that's an interesting pick. I really want to see how many good cards Martin picks up to flicker with the Mind Stone because of how premium a card like Web Up is in this format.
Yeah, you know, he's kind of shooting for the fences here. Sure. You know, that is not, I would have thought he may just take the Web Up because many games, the Mind Stone is just a little mana rock anyway.
Right.
Like it doesn't always get to the harnessed stage. By the way, Martin, interestingly, he loves the Bold Biochemist because he saw that and he snapped it off, even though there's a Wakandan drone flock in this pack that he may be interested in, and a Baxter building, which is also just a really good card.
Right.
But you saw it as he was flipping through that pack. He got to Bold Biochemist, and he's like, "That's my boy."
Yeah, I mean, just another good 2-drop to play in your deck. It is a card that you would like to flicker with the Mind Stone. Once you harness the Mind Stone,
to reset it.
Yeah, you reset it end of turn, and then you get the discount, and you only pay the 4 mana to draw more cards over and over again.
No, that's cool. That's cool. But I mean, we're talking. I mean, we're now 10 mana deep before we get our
absolutely.
Like,
I mean, Mind Stone is a really nice card if you first pick it. But of course, Martin still has some runway here to really put together a good Mind Stone deck here if possible.
Nice pickup with Raft Security Officer here.
Great interactive card.
Fifth pick.
Another 2-drop here. So Martin's curve looking absolutely beautiful here. Bold Biochemist, Raft Security Officer, and double Brave Brawler.
5 seconds.
Martin,
so if you can pick up, you know, Hero in Trainings, of course, is going to be very difficult to pick up, but Shield Deployment Drones, Herbie, right? Cards like that certainly increase in value now that you have a card like the Mind Stone in your deck.
Pick up the pack. You have 25 seconds.
All right. Nothing in this pack here.
That's just a brick. Kree Commando.
But yeah, maybe because you already have an Iron Man. He might just take Kree Commando for the sake of the mana curve if you feel like you just need that 3-drop. I don't think there's really anything else you can consider unless you are interested in a second copy of the Iron Man here.
5 seconds.
This is also one of those spots where if there was a really nice card, he could consider just cutting one.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's just
but
a pick that's just not.
Maybe the Reptile, right?
Cards.
That's an okay card that you can play in your green hero decks.
Pick up the pack. You have 20 seconds.
All right. Okay. Well, that's a pretty easy shield spike kit here. So very nice to pick up, especially when you have all these 2-drops in your deck. So I imagine that's going to be the pickup here for Martin. So still really not necessarily locked into a second color yet, right? I mean, he took one blue card in pack number 2.
He was excited about it, but it's still just a Bold Biochemist.
Right.
It's funny, this whole draft has gone kind of exactly the same. Like almost all white and almost all just middle ground solid stuff.
Yeah, well, except he doesn't have a Massacre Girl. Or you mean this pack? I thought you were talking about the draft yesterday.
Oh, no, yeah. No, this one I just mean like pack 1 and pack 2 is just like kind of the same stuff. He picks up an Agent of Atlas. It's like, yep, that's a white middle ground card. It would be interesting if he actually opened up Massacre Girl.
Right, what
like,
do you do?
It's like probably worth it, right?
Just take it here, yeah.
I mean, like pack 3, pick 1 Massacre Girl. It's like, yeah, I think I'd probably just do that. What is he going to take here? Pim Particles. That card is not really performed, but it's at least in his colors. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you pick up a Colleen Wing, right, and maybe get a late Kamala Khan, perhaps you can kind of fit some of those cards into your deck. And maybe just hate drafting a Mr. Hyde here as it's the best card in the pack.
Sure. Okay, pack 2 winding down here for Martin.
Draft.
And
yeah,
he's checking the boxes. I would say he's leaning a bit hard removal-wise on the Red Guardians.
Right.
As we mentioned, with the open pools here, people will be able to play around them pretty effectively. Right.
He's got a tapper.
He has a RAF security officer, but no web up, no Murdoch's Crusade.
No helicarrier strike, and no frozen in ice.
No frozen ice, or did he have one?
No, he took the Falcon over it.
You're right.
So he is lacking an interaction here. So would like to pick some up here in the last pack.
He's just going to take a Panther Pounce.
And that's why I'm kind of going back also
Draft
to
and pass the final card.
the Mind Stone pick, just because I feel like at that point it kind of looked like you needed the interaction.
90 seconds.
Maybe the thought process is it's pack 2, pick 1. I will have access to a web up or something, but
or a helicarrier strike.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah. So again, pack 3. That the thing is, look, oftentimes going into pack 3, you're often looking to kind of fill the holes in your mana curve and figure out what you need. Well, Martin's kind of got that covered. He's got a bunch of solid 2s and 3s and a lot of things to play. For him, going into the last pack, he's going to be prioritizing interaction. Any type of interaction that he can find. If it's even over a creature that might be slightly better, I would bet that he takes the removal spell.
He's done a good job of putting a foundation for a deck here. The two things that he'd love to really pick up are the removal that Paul just mentioned, and then something upper rarity. You know,
Leader,
just like
Captain Marvel.
Right. Just some really nice rare or even uncommon to just, Captain America, Living Legend. Just something like that to boost his overall punch. Because right now he's kind of right down the middle. And again, that's not the worst at a Pro Tour draft table, but
right. I mean, especially
dare to dream.
Yeah, of course. You want to just make sure you lock in that top 8. But hey, I mean, Martin has those decks, has one of those decks where you go, well, if I just curve out, I mean, could pretty easily see myself going 2-1 so far. Right. And we still have a pack to go.
And Martin's not going to change the way he drafts because he's
no. I don't think. I think he always kind of approaches limited the same way every single time.
To review is complete.
And
please return your cards to a single
I think this is just how he would have drafted regardless of the situation. He could have been 4-4 going into day number 2 and would have drafted the same way.
Okay, pack 3 incoming. Can he open up some sweet bomb? Leader,
Captain Marvel. Agent 13 Sharon Carter.
All the bombs. We saw Agent 13 Justice. Sharon Carter just do work yesterday.
Justice would be nice.
Pick up the pack. You have 50 seconds.
All right, here we go. Oh, that counts. Agent Phil Coulson.
What a pack. There's a political triumph. There's like 5 or 6 cards he wants in this pack. This is a double rare pack. The Vision is also in this pack.
Wow.
So, incredible pack here, but this is a very easy Agent Phil Coulson here for Martin Juza. One of the best rares in the format. If you don't kill it, and you're playing against the hero deck, and the blue-white deck is typically a hero deck, it will run away with the game.
Look at Martin's face. He is pained by the fact that he has to ship off
I already know.
Vision.
I already know what he's thinking.
What is he?
Can I just take this pack?
Yes, just take the whole thing.
Just forget the rest of this pack. Forget the rest of pack 3. If I can just put these cards into my pocket.
Political triumph, the Vision, Agent Phil Coulson in a Frozen in Ice. He's like, lock that in.
Lock it in.
I am happy.
Yeah, that is fantastic with all the heroes that Martin Juza already has in his deck, with the Brave Brawlers, the Agent of Atlas. Great pickup. So now that he's got the curve, he's got the bomb, can he find some interaction?
Ooh, Namor the Submariner.
Yeah, I'm not super high on Namor the Submariner, and I saw Murdoch's Crusade.
Yeah.
He's got to take that Murdoch's Crusade here. Needs the interaction here. Patriot, I found to just be a little bit underwhelming. It's a fine card, but it's just so expensive to actually utilize. You kind of have to get to a board state where you have a bunch of mana up, or else you never use it.
Yeah, it's a never gets cut, but also rarely gets activated type card.
Right. Yeah, and so great
Murdoch's Crusade. Yeah. So he has checked the 2 boxes
bomb
right away. Yeah,
right.
It's like that went about as well as you could possibly hope. I think he's really sad to pass the Vision
5 seconds.
Because it's a super solid card, and no matter what, it's going to get played by, I guess in this case, Arnesh.
Wait, he just drafted the removal spell for it, though.
He did.
He's got the answer now.
Wow. If he can continue like this.
Yeah. I mean,
Pick up the back,
11-0 coming out of draft.
perhaps
anyone?
another Frozen in Ice.
Captain America Living Legend.
Oh, by the way, Captain America.
Oh, but there's a Frozen in Ice.
So Captain America plus Agent Phil Coulson is insane.
That is nuts.
If you can get that curve, it's incredible.
But here's the question, Paul. You said he may take a removal spell even if it's slightly worse than a creature. It's like Captain America is one of the better uncommons. Like that is a really powerful card.
I think if you want to do the cool thing, you take Captain America. I actually think Frozen in Ice is the pick here.
Really? It's that he needs removal that much?
It fills the hole that he has in his deck.
Wow.
He's got 3 drops already. Captain America is fine.
5
but look, the
seconds.
whole argument on the Agent Phil Coulson Captain America is fine, but if Agent Phil Coulson
Draft.
wins, you're going to win the game anyways.
Shuffle and
I
pass
just think the
11
Captain
cards to your
America is
left.
better than fine even without the agent.
Yeah, but
I understand he needs removal.
This is responsible drafting,
back,
and
you
this
have
is
35
that is a
seconds.
bitter pill to swallow to have to pass a card of that quality. but
absolutely.
He did it. Ooh, Electra.
Yeah, I mean, just that's basically uncastable here. So, a Cruel Alliance would be the only other card I would consider.
He can't take it.
Because that is certainly a splashable card. You can also just take Agent of Atlas, just because I know you got a bunch of 2s, but hey, you just picked up Agent Phil Coulson. If you just want to make sure you up your hero count for that.
Yeah, Aim Scientist is a villain.
Yeah, can certainly be interesting. Or you can
5
take Aim
seconds.
Scientist, and then now with 2 Aim Scientists, then if you see a Cruel Alliance, perhaps you can
Draft.
look to splash if
Shuffle
you need the
and pass.
interaction.
Wow, he
10
did
cards to
take it.
your
I'm a
left.
little surprised. I feel like you just want to slam any playable 2-mana
Right.
Pick up the back. You have
hero,
30 seconds.
right?
I think he's got kind of a hole in the 4-mana slot, and Aim Scientist is not the worst to flicker with the Mind Stone, right? It just gives
Oh.
you some bit of value, so perhaps he's
Wow,
looking into
this is a
that.
gift. Avengers Hanger here.
Yeah, blue-white land here.
Dude,
Great
That
pickup.
is such a nice because Martin's in a rare position here at a PT draft. He has too many playables. Like he's already doing just fine on playables, and picking
5
up
seconds.
a gain land at this point is such a help. I mean, your mana base really does get meaningfully
Draft.
better with just one
Shuffle
of those
and
in
pass
it.
Yeah,
9
absolutely.
cards to your left.
Great pickup. You
Frank
always
Carson's
want
like,
it.
slam it.
Oh man, he is a very, very big fan of good
Pick
mana
up the back.
fixing.
You
And
have
he
25
knows.
seconds.
Speedball,
Speedball,
another
a
aim
third
size,
one, I don't think-
intelligence. Kree Commando's not a hero.
So there's a Repulsor Blast that you can maybe put in your sideboard
Mm-hmm.
with the 2 Aim Scientists if there's something you absolutely need to kill. Alternatively, you can take Super Intelligence for the sideboard.
Oh,
if
okay.
you are playing against somebody who doesn't have a lot of removal,
Oh.
then
5
Super
seconds.
Intelligence actually just becomes a card.
And you get to
that-
actually know.
right, because you can see your opponent's deck. So
Draft.
if
He took
you're,
it.
yeah,
Shuffle and pass
I mean
8
it's
That's
cards to your
interesting.
it's
left.
the highest upside pick, right? If your opponent only has 2 removal spells, right, and let's say
Pick
you
up the
play
back,
Agent
you
Phil
have
Coulson and
20
they use one of
seconds.
them, all of a sudden you know the coast is clear, and then Super Intelligence can draw you a ton of cards.
That's kind of interesting.
All right, this is a pretty easy
Wiccan?
Wiccan here, I would guess, for Martin Juza. Another flicker type card
Yeah.
to go with
So
some
what
of the
did he
other
end up
cards.
with that he can flicker?
So there's a hero in
5
training,
seconds.
Aim Scientist.
bold biochemist.
It's a little rough.
It's
Draft.
not great.
Shuffle and
It's not
pass
great,
7
and I
cards.
think if you were to ask Martin, what would you rather have in your deck?
Uh-huh.
Web up 100%.
Pick up the back. You have 15 seconds.
Given how the draft ended up.
How it ended up. Okay, Super Suit, or what is that, another Black Widow? No, it's a Mockingbird.
5
Yeah,
seconds.
maybe just another super suit here, good against red-based removal.
Yeah, sideboard.
Yeah,
Sure.
might even play
Draft.
at least one. I know he has 2.
Shuffle and
Might
Yeah,
even
pass
play
6
one.
cards.
second one.
He doesn't have any of the combat tricks, right?
Pick
He
up the
doesn't
back. You
have
have 10
to
seconds.
take up the shields or anything to save his
That
creatures.
is
so.
true.
All right, well,
And
there's
we know that Martin Juza loves himself a combat.
right. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a flicker target. It's not the greatest card, but hey,
What? Oh, the
Draft.
Shield Helicarrier?
Look, if you got Wiccan
Shuffle
and
and
pass
Mind
6
Stone,
cards.
you ramp into it.
Yeah.
I could see him play, and
Flood
he
the
doesn't.
board.
You
He
have
doesn't
10
have a lot of
seconds.
force.
Okay.
Right? He doesn't have a Wakandan Drone Flock or a Herbie, which are the typical 4-drops
Oh,
that you play in the
He
blue-white
needed
decks.
a Herbie.
Herbie would have been great.
He needed a
But who
Herbie.
doesn't need a Herbie?
Draft.
Yeah, we all need
Yeah.
a Herbie.
Shuffle and pass 4 cards.
Well, he picks up a Grim Reaper with just 4
Pick
cards
up the back.
left
You have
here.
5 seconds.
Doesn't look like there's going to be much for him. No, nothing
Probably
left.
just hate drafting that thing or something.
Yeah,
Draft.
Yeah.
Pass
whatever
3
the thing,
cards.
whatever card is most problematic for him. And
Pick
he
up the back,
decides
you
it's
have
the
5
thing
seconds.
Ben
Maybe you
Grimm.
bring it in against a red-green deck, right? Just because they can't really kill it, right?
Dude,
It's
and with 2
gigantic.
aim scientists, you
Right?
could probably make it
Hey,
work.
why not? Yeah.
That's
Pick up the
funny.
back.
He also has a lot of
You have 5
heroes, so
seconds.
it'll grow. Oh, man, that's funny. And then
Hey,
he's going to
Mr.
pick
Fantastic.
up a Mr. Fantastic
Draft
Reed
and pass
Richards,
the
which I
final
don't think
card.
he has. Well,
A cyborg reach creature, it would be my guess.
and he did pick up the shield helicarrier.
Right? Yeah. So
So it could be anything.
Now you should check that.
Well, that's going to do it for the draft there. Paul, thoughts overall? You know, it looks like you took a pretty middle ground route.
yeah, I think the only real color that we knew for sure was somewhat open was white. I wouldn't even say it was wide open, but he was able to kind of put together enough playables, picked up Agent Phil Coulson, got a couple of interactive spells, maybe would have liked one more, but I think he actually doesn't have enough here. He's going to have to put filler level cards in his deck.
Let's see
and
what
we
he
can see
did.
it here.
Double super suit made it in.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's got that I am Iron Man as a combat trick here as well. He does have a totally fine mana curve. Actually, he's got a ghost in there too. That is not a hero. That is just an evasive creature here. So this deck looks fine, but certainly not the most exciting deck here. I would say that Martin probably would be happy to get a 2-in-1 with this deck.
It's really funny. He has Ghost, Spectral Saboteur, Double Red Guardian, and Spider-Man to the rescue. If he passes with 3 mana, it's like anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, you do get to play that flash game along with the super suits and I am Iron Man. So
You know what?
It is tough to play against.
Yeah, you know what would have gone a really long way in this deck is a We Say Thee Nay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where when you pass with that 3 mana, your opponent has to think, well, maybe it's a counter spell, maybe it's not.
Right, and here we're looking at, a deck again, nice curve, but you have 2 removal spells, 2 Red Guardians, and the Security Officer. Slightly light if he does run into a deck that has a couple of rare creatures that absolutely needs to be dealt with here. But other than that, just you can't be too mad at this deck given that it's a Pro Tour draft, but certainly the ceiling could be higher.
That's right. A checkbox for Martin Juza as he tries to continue his winning ways from day number 1. We're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam. When we come back, we'll have Martin Juza versus Timo Bertram. Don't go anywhere.